While Americans might grab a slice of pizza or visit a hot dog cart, people in other countries have their own delicious street foods that they can always depend on. This is our countdown of 7 of the best street foods from around the world that you should try. Before we sink our teeth in, make sure to like and subscribe. The 7th spot in our countdown goes to kelewele from Ghana. This popular street food is sometimes referred to as spicy fried plantains or hot plantain crisps. It consists of fried plantains seasoned with ginger, salt, cayenne pepper, and other spices. Kelewele is often served with rice and bean stew. Or if you have a sweet tooth, you can eat it by itself as a dessert. Yum! Some people from Ghana would say that this flavorful food actually spices up relationships. Having a rocky time with your lover? Grab some kelewele and talk it out. Even if this street food doesn't fix all the problems, it'll make you feel good at the moment. Locals say that the sweet taste can often awaken their happy nerves. It's impossible to have a best street foods list and not include Thai food. Our number 6 spot goes to Thai boat noodles. Originally sold from canal boats, hence the name, Thai boat noodles are a sought-after delicacy that are served in restaurants and from blue carts in Bangkok. The noodles are served in a small bowl of soup with pork or beef, bean sprouts, and other vegetables and spices. The broth is often served with pork or cow blood as a seasoning, but it can also be made without it. This dish has been served since 1942, when Thailand was under a dictatorship. The dish was an attempt to unify the Thai people, as Thailand was a country with diverse groups of newcomers, including Malaysian, Chinese, and other folks. In other words, boat noodles are more than just a delectable dish. They quite literally played a role in shaping the society and identity of Thailand. Have you ever heard of bitterballen? If not, heads up, they don't actually taste bitter. This dish's name is inspired by bitters, or alcohol that usually accompanies this savory dish. So what exactly is bitterballen? They are essentially deep-fried meatballs. Their ingredients vary, but often include beef, butter, flour, onion, parsley, beef broth, and spices like salt, pepper, and nutmeg. The balls are covered in breadcrumbs, deep-fried, and served with mustard. Oftentimes, they include nutmeg and curry powder. Since these ingredients are not native to the Netherlands, it's very important to note that Dutch cuisine is often heavily influenced by Indonesia, India, and other former colonies of the Dutch Empire. So the next time you're on the streets or at a pub in the Netherlands, make sure you have some space in your tummy for flaky and savory bitterballen. Popular across Southeast Asia, but primarily in Indonesia, chicken satay is grilled chicken on skewers, usually served with a mix of soy sauce and peanut sauce. Other meats and fish can also be served this way. In that case, we'll take one of each, please. Indonesia has a complex history of interacting with surrounding nations and existing under colonial rule, which usually influences food. But it's important to note that peanut sauce, which is served with satay, originates in the Indonesian city of Java. In a way, this dish represents the resilience of the nation even throughout the colonial period. Our number 3 spot goes to arepas. Both Colombia and Venezuela claim arepas as their own, but we're not getting in the middle of that argument. Instead, let's highlight the beauty of multiple types of arepas from northern South America. Arepas are a sandwich stuffed with cheese, meat, or another filling of your choice. The dough is made from masarepa, or dehydrated cooked cornmeal. Arepas are generally pan-fried and then baked or broiled for a few minutes for a golden brown, crispy quality. The Venezuelan arepa tends to be thicker and the insides are stuffed with meats, veggies, and cheese. Whereas Colombian arepas are usually sweeter and the fixings often go on top rather than inside. Either way, they are both delicious. The second spot in our finger-licking list goes to pastéis de nata, which is actually a pastry. The singular form of pastéis in Portuguese is pastel, but honestly, who wants to eat just one? Pastéis de nata, or Portuguese custard tarts, are extremely popular in Portugal and Brazil, as well as across Europe. They're basically just egg custards in a crispy pastry shell, baked at a very high temperature and dusted with cinnamon. Ugh, is it snack time yet? And coming in at number 1 on our countdown of the best street foods around the world, empanadas. Ever met someone who doesn't like empanadas? Probably not. Empanadas are thought to have originated in Argentina, invented by immigrants from northern Spain. Over the last century, Argentina has revolutionized the empanada, but you can find them all across Latin America and in the United States. Empanadas can be baked or fried and basically consist of a puff pastry dough filled with meat, cheese, or other ingredients. Traditional Argentine empanadas contain beef, onions, egg, olives, and spices. Well, there you have it, some of the best street food from around the world. Each of these dishes has comforted and inspired their respective communities for many generations. And once you take a bite, they'll inspire you too. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Countdown. See you next time!